The president is a person that I think connects with Hispanics, connects with all Americans, frankly, and is a person that isn't going to be, as Bill Maher the other day said, Don, and I completely agree with him, the country is choking on political correctness. The country's choking on it.
Well, so briefly, let's start off. What was your response to the outcome?
Well, delighted and what we expected. Just a few things from the Republican point of view. I think this election was largely decided on the economy, on border security, and on the role of America in the world, making America first. I think the president stuck to those themes and those would resonate with the American people. The Democrats made this a referendum on Donald Trump. I think that was a mistake. They did that from the get-go. The lawfare, that was, I think we'll talk about later, the attacks and persecutions on President Trump, I think backfired. So this was in many ways a classic election. It was on the record of the incumbent. Kamala Harris was the incumbent.
Do you think we've seen the great deal maker that the president, believes himself to be?
Well, I think he's offering a good deal, and I think it's getting some traction. And one of the things that Senator McConnell had said repeatedly is that he would only put something on the floor that the president would sign. So we have an opportunity. Beyond this, though, I think he is a very good negotiator. The problem with what Jen has said, and frankly the congressman has said, is the following is, I think the president would actually enter into good faith negotiations, but you have the speaker saying very clearly, Anderson, she's not going to appropriate $1 for the wall. That's one component.
Donald Trump didn't say anything disparaging about Puerto Ricans. However, no mention has been made on this program that the President of the United States, Joe Biden, has called half of the American people garbage.
One of the things President Trump said in 2016 is, he said this, I didn't really expect to win. I thought we would, but I didn't expect it. He was a novice, he was an outsider. He's still an outsider, politically speaking, but he's no longer an outsider. He knows the workings of government, he knows who's been with him, who's been loyal to him. These are all loyalists. These are people who share his vision and loyalists.
We have 10.8 million people. We have a crisis. The former Secretary of Homeland Security under President Obama said that if we had 1,000 people entering illegal in the country, it would be a crisis. We have today 4,350 entering illegal in the country. So we have a situation in the country that we have out of control. 54% of the American people favor a national massive deportation.
His border control, a lot of it can be done by executive order, as he did, and would we remain in Mexico policy, catch and release. Many things can be done instantly. He did bring the border under control. This administration lost control of it. So he can do a great deal. I think that will be the priority. More can be done. Senator Graham has said increasing the number of beds, for example, for detainees up to 170,000 along the border from the current under 100,000. So you will see that to be a priority. The border will come under control. Illegal immigration will be controlled. That is absolutely feasible, and that will be the number one priority beyond the fiscal policies that we referred to earlier.
At the end of the day, I am going to say something here that probably is not very popular, is I'm not holding my breath that there will be an agreement. And for this reason, we just saw this debate in Iowa over the weekend, or just the last few days. The climate right now is just too politicized. I think it's always difficult, and it really is already an election year, to get things done in Washington. So I think the Democrats, frankly, I don't want to make it partisan here, the Democrats are in a position, since they're trying to unseat the president, to push the envelope to a point that Republicans will not be able to accept overreaching on this issue.
You're a man who cares about the international order and human rights.
Okay.
How do you square that?
I do, in this regard. Number one is, what he has talked about is engagement. For example, with respect to Putin and what's happening in Ukraine, that he wants a resolution to the war. Obviously, under his administration, there was not an invasion of Ukraine, which happened under Obama and happened under Biden. So I think he has delivered very, very strong messages. As President Trump has said, even when our policy, as you know, with respect to Afghanistan beforehand, he said I delivered very strong messages to the Taliban in the period of 2 years. Not one American life was lost in that period of time. Gowdy's point is a legitimate one. They began a political circus here.
in the House. They broke really the rules that are necessary. The president was never given due process in the House of Representatives. They didn't call the witnesses in the House as they should have. So when you start a political circus, this is what you get. The culprits here are the Democrats in the House.
Yeah.
They have fallen into the abyss of rage, partisan rage and hate for President Trump. And it's a consequence of a flawed process. They're trying to correct it in the Senate, and this is the consequence.
Okay.